I guess I wanted to say this also, I guess, because it's top of mind. So, this week I had an appointment with a dermatologist for the first time because you guys see how much I've been tanning. If you can kind of see it, you can see, I know that's gross, that I've been tanning a lot. And coming from a German winter and going into a very, very hot, sunny summer, I was like, yo, I don't want to like ruin my skin. Anyway, so I have an appointment with a dermatologist. And so I go yesterday, and then I realized that a part of the, I guess, like, coverage that I have involves like initially I just had like a couple of questions. So from my primary, I had to get a referral to go see the germ. So I go see the germ, and they're like, oh, okay, so do you just want like a full, like it's called like a full body scan or something, a full body dermatology check. And then I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And then they're like, okay, so, they were like, okay, so just put on this gown, and like it was kind of like a stripped down situation. And I was like, oh, wait, okay, no, I definitely don't want to do that because the dermatologist that they like assigned me to was like an Asian male. And I was like, there are multiple reasons that that's not going to work, but I just want to unpack to you guys why I rescheduled my dermatology appointment. So what I did was I was like, okay, I'm just gonna reschedule the full body scan part, but I will have a conversation with the dermatologist because I want to talk about some of the sunburn issues that I'm having. I've made another video about this when I talked about the TV show The Nick. So The Nick is basically a show that's about medical racism. And so the Nick takes place in like 1925. And so there's two things that are happening. There's this resident physician, he's like a black male. And then there's this white doctor who's very much so kind of like Dr. House. If you've been here for a while, you will know that like Dr. House as a fictional character is like me. It's like the male version of me. So if you don't know what that means, it's not for you. So just let it go over your head. Anyway, um, so the Nick kind of explores like the racial tension, all these things about like modern medicine and its development. But from that, I think this in like 2023, something interesting started to happen where a lot of the like black doctors started coming online and they started talking about like residency. And I was like, I haven't seen this before, especially as a person who's like an ex pre med person. I'm like, this is actually kind of revolutionary in a sense because if you didn't know, there's only like it's like 0.001% of all the doctors in America are black. So there's like basically none. But obviously there's like 13% of the population that's black. So that's like a really large disparity. Like you just need at least enough doctors to serve the fucking population, and we don't even have that. So the video that I made basically talked about how there will have to be affirmative action, at least in medical care, just to get enough black doctors to serve the black population. Like it isn't further than that. And I think that one thing, and I feel like Serena Williams kind of started this conversation when she, started writing about and talking about how when she was birthing her baby or whatever, when she was pregnant, her OBGYN ignored all of these issues that she was having and basically said that she was making up pain or shit, and then she almost lost her life because of that. I feel like that started a larger conversation around, oh my gosh, we need more black doctors. I don't know how else to say it. You can call it affirmative action. You can call it a public service. It really doesn't matter. But the point being, I don't want an Asian doctor. So there you go. Like, so I rescheduled my appointment, but also if I can't get a black female doctor, I at least have to have like a female doctor. And this is kind of the conversation that I want to start to have. There are just certain biological things like I want to talk to like the female who's like helping me, like I want a black female dermatologist, but we can't reach for the stars, at least not fucking here. So like, while we're here, we can at least do with a female. And clearly I'm not the only one who felt this way because her backlog is like 6 months. Like I couldn't even get an appointment, or not 6 months, but it's a few months. I can't even get in until December. So there's really certain things about like culture and ethnicity and group privilege where sometimes all of the social issues that seem to be just like, oh, well, nobody cares about those. Well, shit, when I'm going in and I'm like, actually, this woman has no idea, and this person from this other ethnic group that's been like historically racist to me, I would rather they not be in charge of my medical care. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that more Black women need to have like the autonomy to be able to say and to be able to like explain that. I mean, I don't really know what to say because like the issue right now is that there's a population of people who need the care and there's just no one there to provide it. So now the service actually can't even be provided. It's not even about like the spots, right? Because I think that's another thing that's very interesting. And like I was pre-med for a while, so I participated in quite a lot of these conversations, but there seems to be, and it's kind of a larger conversation that does extend to like the University of California and all the issues that are happening with that. um Certain skills are necessary for society to function, so like medical doctors or like dentists, lawyers, those are things that everyone needs, not just people from particular racial, ethnic, or socioeconomic groups. And if you do not have, like, so somebody, let's say this has kind of been the issue in California. If you have such a large population of people who speak Spanish and then none of the doctors speak Spanish, you actually can't serve the population. Like, no matter how many people have A's or who's getting the best grades, or if you had the profile, if you can't speak Spanish, you can't serve a population that's like 78% Hispanic. You see what I'm like? It doesn't matter how good your grades are, how many books you read. It just doesn't matter, right? Like, that's kind of the same issue that Black Americans are facing in terms of medical care. Like, no matter how all of these other groups can say whatever the fuck they need to say about whatever, we just need enough doctors to like literally provide the medical care for the Black American community who's here right now. And whatever needs to be done to get Black Americans in to serve that specific population, that has to be done. If it's affirmative action, if it's a little pat on the back, whatever the fuck it is, because the other people actually cannot do it. There is not enough trust there across racial groups for the service to be provided. So not every industry is about skills, right? Like, I mean, definitely you want to have like whoever the Black doctors are go through the hours and like, whatever you need to do to like be able to provide the service. Maybe if they need an additional year of training, whatever the fuck it is. But I think I told you guys this, but I met so when I was in Prague, I met a doctor who is not African American, but she's a doctor practicing primary care in Louisiana, specifically in this community that's like all Black, like 100% African American. And the the sociological issues happening in that community and the need for care is so high. And basically, nobody wants to work in that community. So, if you haven't seen that video, I don't know, I can't remember how I titled that video, but I'll put it in the description box because I saw this issue kind of rising before. The other thing, too, Black academics don't want to work with or serve poor Black people. So, like, Black academics are like the Stanford Blacks, the Harvard Blacks. I don't know, any Black academic who I've covered on this channel. Yeah, they're not going to serve in any hood or any like lower income community. You remember the video I made about the super zips? Yeah, all the Black academics live in the super zips. So they're for sure not going to go serve that poor community of Black Americans in Louisiana who need the help. So that's another issue, right? The issues are layered. Um, and I have heard a couple of things where admissions reps are like literally having to make decisions about who gets in based on the target population and demographic that they are agreeing to serve. Because like at the same time, not all of the medical schools are funded by private donors. Some of them have public dollars. And so when everybody's tax money is going in to fund this public institution, and then only certain people are being served with the outcomes. Like, you actually have to change the processes to enable those public institutions to serve the population that's there. The Spanish example was like one, but there are many. But that one just sticks out the most to me as being like a real problem that doesn't have a solution right now. But I did want to say that because the dermatology appointment came up, and I felt like there was a way to like circle that back and tie that into like